Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and I'm today going to cover what I think is the best order to farm your Galactic Legends, Executor, General Skywalker, Malak, and Starkiller. So there'll be, like 10 kind of different massive things to farm at once, right? Kind of like your biggest farms to do. The order that I personally think is the best to farm them in. Now, this is, again, just, keep in mind, guys, this is just my humble opinion, right? This is just kind of what I see in the game, what I think is the not only fastest, but also most efficient way to do things. So with that, let's kind of hop in here. And I made a squad to show you guys, and so kind of explain here with, my order. So first is Kylo. I think Kylo is the best thing to do first. If you're going for like Galactic Legends Malak, I'll say this, you could switch Malak and Supreme Leader Kylo Ren here. I went with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren first because it will give you a first order fleet. And so that fleet will just help you in, whether it's GAC or Fleet Arena, right? That it's just going to give you a leg up on people, that there'll be ships there that you can use. So personally, I think, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, best first thing to go for. Then I would go for Darth Malak because, even though I would say that General Skywalker is a better character than Malak, I think that Malak, one, his requirements are much less expensive. And also, in the beginning of the game, I feel like it's going to be a lot harder for people to counter a Malak than General Skywalker because, Commander Luke can struggle with a Sith Empire team where Commander Luke, pretty easily handles General Skywalker. So, Malak is kind of in the middle of you'll see like between Kylo Ren and Jedi Master Luke. Now, I have Luke next, and Luke has some pretty steep requirements. I'm not going to exaggerate there. But the reason I say Luke second is because even though it may take you a little bit longer to get him, Luke counters almost every single Galactic Legend, and the Galactic Legends that Luke might struggle with a little bit more, Kylo handles perfectly. And so by getting Kylo and Luke first, you're going to have Galactic Legends that can counter any of these 6 that are in the game right now. And that's just so important. You get a lot of really good squads with Jedi Master Luke Skywalker between Commander Luke, Rebel fighters. You'll get some other random rebels, off to the side. You'll get some Jedi to run with Master Luke. And so, overall, you'll have a very, very good account early on by getting, those 3. And then, after Luke, start working on General Skywalker. General Skywalker, fantastic, right? Again, this is a lot of guild event currency 1, but our goal is that early on, you'll have that get 1, right? You're saving it up. You're going for these characters. My thought here is that by getting those 4 characters first, you're checking boxes that you've got teams in Grand Arena, in territory battles for territory wars, because one of the biggest things that people struggle with is when they're farming for Galactic Legends and they go for, say, just Kylo and Sith Eternal, you have no value to a guild doing any kind of light side territory battle, right? You have no value. And that can keep you from getting into guilds who are doing those really, really high level things. So in my personal opinion, by going for a light side GL like Luke, you're going to have teams that can compete in territory battles in Geonosis. And then you'll have Kylo who can compete in territory battles, and then you hold a lot of value to a guild. And that, goes the same way with General Skywalker. Gives you another Geo TB requirement that can, if you get the clones up with them and get Shock T there, you can also start attempting the Coyote Mundi mission, which will get you into guilds that otherwise you would have no business being in. So then next I have Sith Eternal. And Sith Eternal, I kind of say here, is like a quote-unquote break for you, right? That, his requirements aren't anything crazy, but what they're going to lead in really nicely to is the next farm after this, right? That, you're going to get your Darth Vader, your Empire, you'll get the start of an Imperial Trooper team, you'll get some additional Sith characters, and that leads you really nicely into the Executor here. So I have Admiral Piet as a placeholder for Executor. So this might catch flack from people, but I have Executor over Jedi Master Kenobi. The reason I did that is because Jedi Master Kenobi has multiple Galactic Legend counters, right? Like there are multiple counters to Jedi Master Kenobi in the game. There's not a whole lot of Executor counters, and they are extremely difficult. So getting Executor, you'll have a lot of these things already, right? Because between bounty hunters for the Chewbacca event, there's ships for the Finalizer and Millennium Falcon, there's going to be a whole bunch of things that you'll already have from those, and then from the Sith Eternal farm, right? So you're going to have a really good base build already that it shouldn't take you too long to get Executor. Then, next, Jedi Master Kenobi. So I have Jedi Master Kenobi ahead of Lord Vader and Rey. I just think he's easily with Commander Tano, he's the best GL in the game, right? Hands down. And by the time that you would be able to get him, I would assume that you would have a Commander Tano at this point, because I'm assuming that her shards are not going to be easily accessible. But think that his Rex are just a little bit tougher due to the Guild Event Currency 2 for the Negotiator, and then the Relic 8s, including some of the other characters there that just need some Relic 7s that, kind of placing him a little bit farther down the list, because in terms of what you're getting when you farm him, you're getting pieces for teams, but you're not really getting full teams themselves compared to like Kylo, Luke, and even like Sith Eternal. So my personal opinion is that Kenobi you kind of want to get as like your 4th GL when you've already gotten a lot of characters in your roster, and then it's about mixing and mashing your squads together because of Kenobi. Then next is Lord Vader. So by the time that you would have Kenobi, right, you would have 4 Relic 8s already. So then for Lord Vader, the reason I have him here is that by this point, you should be rocking and rolling. You should be in a guild getting Relic 8s, and that you should be able to be spending that currency. And in my personal opinion, although I think Rey has a lot of really good uses, I think Lord Vader still has a leg up on her. And so I personally would go all in on Lord Vader after your Kenobi, right? Yes, he's very expensive in terms of relic materials, but I think he's really worth the investment as that 5th GL, and that will just make your territory battles, territory wars, Grand Arena, everything easier. Then you've got Rey. Rey I kind of have 6th. You could put her earlier, but she needs a lot of characters, right? More than like Kylo does. Her ships, her fleet can be good, but I definitely think that a First Order fleet is better than a Resistance fleet, and I think that with the amount of ships you would need to farm for Rey, it's a little bit smarter to kind of go for like the Kylo, that you can use them in other events, right? Other areas where like Rey's ships are very situational. And so I think Rey just kind of fits into that slot lastly as like a, over time you've accumulated the requirements for her. And then lastly, I have Starkiller. Starkiller's great, but until you've got all these other things, Starkiller definitely is the least important out of all of these other Galactic Legends, Executor, Malak, and General Skywalker. He just doesn't have that, not that he's not good, right? That's not at all what I'm saying. It's just, his requirements, while a lot lower, need, his squad needs a very specific composition that most people can't complete until much later in the game. And so personally, guys, in my opinion, Starkiller last here. And yeah, that's my list for, an order of like Galactic Legends, Executor, your long journey guides of what order I personally would go in. Again, there's a million ways you could do this, but just for me, in terms of speed and what you're getting out of the Galactic Legends, I think this is the best order. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, whether you agree with this list, whether you think that this is complete garbage, bogus, whatever you want to call it. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. As always, like and subscribe to see more content like this, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.